Hello, sound check. Test mic. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is good. Today we will talk about anger, just like what we have been discussing so far. In part 1 of the video, pinag-usapan natin kung ano yung mga basic principles that we have to know about anger. We are now going to make use of those principles na pinag-usapan natin in part 1 and apply those to teach us how to better handle anger. So for the next few episodes on this series on anger, we are going to apply kung ano ba yung mga pwede nating gawing techniques on how to become more effective in handling our anger. I want to start with this video by saying na dapat maging realistic tayo about anger. We cannot totally eliminate anger in our lives. Huwag nating gawin goal na itatrain mo yung sarili mo para hindi ka na magagalit. Because technically, that is not possible. As long as you are living in this world that is fallen, as long as there are troubles around you every day, talagang magagalit at magagalit ka. This is very important because many people, without them realizing it, they are just setting themselves to disappointment kapag ginagawa nilang goal na talagang mawala yung galit nila in their lives. They keep on trying na dapat hindi ako magagalit, but they still fail. Guess what? Hindi talaga sila magsasucceed because one of the principles in part 1 of the video, anger is already programmed in our psyche. Talagang hindi natin totally madidelete yan. The best we can do is to manage anger effectively. But to totally eliminate anger, forget it, it will not happen. In fact, even the Bible confirms that what I'm saying is true. Ang sabi ng James 1:19, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Hindi sinabing be quick to listen, slow to speak, and do not be angry. That would have been different. Pero in this passage, iba. Slow to anger. Okay lang na magalit basta slow. Hindi agad-agad. In other words, in a more technical term, ang tawag natin dyan, manageable anger. Anger does not take over your thinking ability, also known as emotional hijack. Yun yung ayaw ng Bible na nangyayari sa psyche ng tao when we become too angry, that we lose control of our thinking process, na kinakain tayo ng buong buo ng anger natin, na ang ending natin, we end up doing stupid things that we should not be doing in the first place. So again, yan ang dapat nating gawing goal. How do we train ourselves to become slow to anger, as what James 1:19 is saying? Now, let's just have a quick review of how anger happens to our psyche, in our psyche. So this is the picture of anger. Usually, merong nangyayari na isang event na ayaw mo. And then, when that event happens and your mind sensed that it happened, nagkakaroon ng mga automatic cognition or thinking processes inside your head. As in automatic, very quickly it happens. You witness an event, boom, merong mga tatakbo sa utak mo dyan, and those are the things that will make you feel angry. Now, in this series of videos, hindi ko pakikialaman itong automatic cognition, as the term implies, automatic nga. Mahirap talaga yung i-correct because it happens simultaneously very quickly. Rather, in the next series of videos, tuturuan ko kayo ng mga strategies that will help us deal with anger in this phase. Yung nasa green na box. Now that you feel that you are angry, now that you feel that you are about to get angry, what can we do to pacify or to weaken the intensity of anger? Yan yung mga pag-uusapan natin in the next videos. I am going to share with you 3 psychological techniques on how to effectively deal with anger, but at least for this episode, isa lang muna yung i-discuss natin. We will talk about cognitive reframing as a technique in how to manage anger effectively. From the term itself, cognitive in psychology, ibig sabihin yan thinking, pag-iisip. Reframing from the root word frame in psychology, ibig sabihin yan the way we look at something, how we frame something, how we interpret something. That's what you mean by the word frame. At idadagdag mo yung salitang ibig sabihin yan, ulit or babaguhin. So in cognitive reframing, ang ginagawa natin dito para mabawasan yung intensity ng galit natin, babaguhin natin yung pananaw o yung interpretation natin doon sa situation that made us feel angry. In fact, this technique is based on a concept that we discussed in video number 1, that we decide how we interpret certain events. Sabi ko nga doon sa video, it's not the event, it's not the person that made you feel angry, but it's more on what you thought, how you interpreted the event that made you feel angry. Kaya hindi tama yung statement na sabihin mong that person made me feel angry or John made me angry. It was you who made yourself angry, and what was your contribution? Bakit ka nagalit? Because the way you thought about John, the way you thought about the situation made you feel angry. It's not the situation, it's not John, it was you by thinking about angry thoughts. Ikaw ang pumipili, ikaw ang nag-decide kung magagalit ka ba o hindi. So that lesson is very connected to technique number 1, cognitive reframing. Tatandaan natin, every time that we are faced in an angry situation, nasa choice natin if we are going to see that situation in an angry way or not in an angry way. A simple illustration of this would be this picture. In psychology, ang tawag namin dito, visual illusions. In this visual illusion, you can possibly see two things. One is the young girl and the other one is the old guy. So sana nakikita nyo yung pareho, no? The young girl, naka-side view siya, ito yung kanyang sombrero, no? Ito yung kanyang pisngi, ito yung baba ng young girl, so on and so forth. Pero other than the young girl, you can also see the old guy na nandito yung kanyang bigote, ito yung kanyang ilong, ito yung kanyang mata, and so on and so forth. So we have a young girl and we have the old guy. Now I want you to see the young girl right now. For 5 seconds, I just want you to fix your mind seeing the young girl. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you transfer your perception to the old guy. I want you to see the face of the old guy right now in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So what's the point of that exercise? It was you who decided whether you will see the young girl or the old guy. Kung gusto mong makita yung young girl, that's what you see. Kung gusto mong makita yung old guy, that's what you see. And who decides whether you will see the old guy or the young girl? It was your choice. In the same way, ganun din tayo whenever we are faced in a situation that can make us feel angry. It is our choice whether to continue being angry or to see the situation in another way that will make us feel less angry. Sinabi nga rin yan ni Stephen Covey, no? Very good words. Our ultimate freedom is the right and power to decide how anybody or anything outside ourselves will affect us. That's a very powerful word, the word decide. We decide. We have the power to decide how things outside us will affect us through the way we think about those things na nangyayari outside us. So going back to the issue of anger, if we want to have a lesser intensity of anger that we feel, hahanapan dapat natin ng positive frame or ng positive side yung situation na nakakapagpagalit sa atin. The reason why most of the time people lose control of their anger, it's because they don't make that decision. Merong nangyari, they think of angry thoughts, and then they keep on thinking about the angry thoughts. It becomes more powerful and powerful. Pataas ang pataas yung intensity because they keep on thinking about the anger. They are not finding the good side of the situation. Ang ending, sumasabog yung tao sa galit. So the good news is we can choose so that that will not happen. Let me give you some examples on how we can apply cognitive reframing para hindi tayo masyadong nagagalit, no? Halimbawa, medyo nagagalit ka sa boss mo kasi lagi kanyang inuutusan. Ang dami niyang pinapagawa sa'yo, hindi ka nakakapag-lunch break, lagi ka nang late umuwi sa gabi, because your boss keeps on telling you to do a lot of things. One way to make yourself angry in that situation is lagyan mo ng negative interpretation yung ginagawa ng boss mo. So kapag tanungin kita, bakit sa tingin mo yung boss mo maraming iniuutos sa'yo and then you interpret it in a negative way, so you say something like, kasi pinag-iinitan niya ako kasi bad trip sa akin yan kasi inaantay ako magkamali niyan para pag nagkamali ako, papagalitan niya ako ng bonggang-bongga. If you interpret that event in those ways, very negative, no wonder mataas ang intensity ng galit mo sa boss mo. And as a result, hindi mo magagawa ng maayos yung mga dapat mong ginagawa dahil na punong-puno ng anger yung iyong pag-iisip. So one way to deal with this is instead of seeing that situation as negative, you choose to see that situation in a more positive way. And how do you do that? Bakit ka laging inuutusan ng boss mo? One way to look at it, it's because your boss trusts you. Nagtitiwala kasi yung boss mo sa'yo. Alam niya na magaling ka, na marami kang kayang gawin, kaya sa'yo lahat iniuutos. Parang sa basketball, for example in NBA, bakit ang bola laging na kay Michael Jordan? Bakit ang bola laging na kay LeBron James or na kay Steph Curry? Because the players know, the coaches know that they can do the job well. In the same principle in the office, kaya maraming pinapagawa sa'yo kasi alam nila na mataas ang level of skill mo na kaya mong gawin yung mga trabaho ng maayos. Kung baga sa sports terminology, you are the go-to guy or the go-to girl in the office. O di ba mas positive? If you see that situation that way, tendency is yung level of anger mo, bababa yung intensity. Pwede sigurong irritable ka pa rin, pwedeng meron ka pa rin konting bitterness kasi talagang napapagod ka, but it will no longer be as powerful as when you see that situation in a negative way. Pag tinitignan mo yung isang sitwasyon in a positive light, it will lower the intensity of your anger. That's very important. So the next time na yung boss mo maraming iniuutos sa'yo, again, you just remember that those thinking patterns na ginamit mo kanina. Nagtitiwala kasi sila sa'yo, kaya ikaw lagi yung inuutusan. Now, every time I teach this, some students will ask me, paano sir kung totoo naman na yung boss, kaya maraming pinapagawa sa'yo, kasi pinag-iinitan ka talaga, kasi hinahanapan ka talaga ng mali. My answer, in that situation, hindi muna nagmamatter yon. We don't care if that's true or not. What matters is in this situation is, you don't lose control of your emotion. You would like to motivate yourself to meet the task being demanded from you. Diba? Yun yung ayaw natin mangyari, yung ma-out of control yung anger mo. And the best way to do that is again, by not caring for the meantime, why or what's the truth, why your boss keeps on asking you to do things. Ang gusto lang muna natin gawin dito is to take control, to pacify our anger, and one way to do that, as I've mentioned, tignan natin yung positive side nung isang situation. Mamaya mo na problemahin kung bakit ba talaga lagi kang inuutusan ng boss mo. Right? Another example where we can apply this is, halimbawa sa sports, no? Maraming mga aggressive behaviors na nangyayari sa sports. Halimbawa, nasiko ka. Ikaw to, si Harden. O accidentally nasiko ka nung kalaban mo. Obviously, you will feel pain, and that pain can make you feel angry, which can cause you to become aggressive. Baka gantihan mo rin yan, ang ending magsuntukan kayo. And we know that's not good. You will just be injuring yourself. You might injure the other person. You will be thrown out of the game. Your team will get a technical foul. Hindi magagandang mga bagay yan. So, what can you do sa iyong level of anger? Paano mo ipapacify or pabababain in this case where after mong nasiko, talagang ramdam mo na nagagalit ka? Again, look at the positive side. Have a more positive interpretation why you were elbowed by this guy. Most people na gumagante sa ganyan, talagang nasaktan sila, nagalit sila, hahabulin nila yung sumiko sa kanila, sisikuhin din nila, magsusuntukan sila. What motivated those behaviors? Meron kasi silang negative interpretation of what just happened. Right? Ang iisipin kasi nila, kaya niya ako siniko kasi sinasadya niya yan. Gusto niya masaktan ako. Kasi gusto niya na matalo yung team namin, ako lang umi-score sa team namin, kaya intentionally sinaktan niya ako para hindi ako makapaglaro ng maayos. Again, if you see that situation that way, no wonder intensity of your anger will greatly increase and you will lose control of your emotion, ending nakipagsuntukan ka, hindi ka na nakapaglaro ng maayos. So what can we do? If you are in that situation and you apply cognitive reframing, hanapan mo ng positive interpretation yung nangyari sa'yo. Such as nung nasiko ka. Bakit ka kaya nasiko? Well, siguro naman hindi sinasadya. Well, I'm playing basketball. It's a very physical game. I should expect that these things happen. So wala dapat akong nirereklamo. Kasi I have chosen to play a physical game. So I need to be ready when people get physical on me. So kapag ganun kang mag-isip, again, hindi ko sinasabing totally mawawala yung anger mo. Pwedeng nandyan pa rin yan, especially when there is physical pain. But it will be more controllable. Hindi ka magwawala. Hindi ka makikipagsuntukan. Hindi ka matuthrown out from the game. Again, same question. Sir, what if totoo namang sinadya nung kalaro ko yung pagsiko niya sa akin? Talagang ginawa niya yon para masaktan ako at hindi ako makapaglaro ng maayos sa game. At this moment, hindi mo na nagmamatter yon. At that moment, what you want to do is to pacify, weaken the intensity of your anger coming from the physical pain that you are experiencing. Mamaya mo na problemahin kung sinadya ba niya talaga yan o hindi. Or maybe, hayaan mo na yung mga referee ang humusga kung sinadya ba talaga niya yon o hindi. Tinitignan naman yan ng mga referees, especially kapag may mga ganyang nangyayari. You just let the referees determine that. But in your situation, in your case, ang goal mo lang is you don't let your anger take a hold of you. And one way to do that is, again, as you can see on the screen, hanapan mo ng positive interpretation yung nangyari sa'yo. So let's have some other exercises na pwede nyong gawing practice to apply cognitive reframing. So for the following situations, medyo nakakagalit ito, hanapan nyo ng positive side so that yung intensity ng anger nyo bababa. For example, you did not get the appreciation you deserve for a project. Ilang beses ka nagpuyat, ang dami mong pera na ginastos, talagang pinagtuunan mo ng pansin yung project only to find out later on na yung groupmate mo na walang ginawa, siya pa yung pinuri. Siya pa yung pinapalakpakan ng opisina. Totoo namang nakakagalit yon. Don't deny that. Okay? Whenever you feel angry, don't stop yourself from being angry, especially if you have good reasons to be angry. So what do? You don't like to intensify the energy of your anger. Hahanapan mo ng positive side itong nangyayari sa'yo. Like what? O, pwede mong sabihin na, okay, siya yung pinapalakpakan, siya yung pinupuri, pero ang tunay na panalo in this situation is me because I was the one who gained more knowledge. I was the one who gained more learning from this project. Yung mga bagay na natutunan ko, yung mga skills na nakayanan ko in doing this project, I can later use these things for my own advancement. Itong taong ito, pinapalakpakan lang siya, pero wala talaga siyang alam. In the future, lalabas din yan. Lalabas din ang katotohanan na yung taong to, talagang walang alam, hindi nagtrabaho doon sa project na ako ang gumawa. So if you see it that way, na mas panalo ka dito sa project na ito kahit hindi ikaw yung pinupuri, mas bababa yung intensity ng anger mo because again, you saw the positive side. Although I did not get praise from other people, I got knowledge, I got learning, and that's what really matters. Nagkaroon ako ng self-improvement, yung pinapalakpakan na groupmate ko na hindi naman nagtrabaho, walang self-improvement na nangyari. Lumaki lang yung ulo siguro. O, di ba? When you see it that way, talagang malaki ang ibababa ng intensity of your anger. Another example, this is from my personal experience. You are irritated by the many security procedures before entering a bank. I mean, very common ito kapag papasok ka sa isang bangko, the security guard will let you open your bag and all the packets in your bag, and if you have a smaller bag inside your bag, pati yon pabubukas niya. That's a lot of work, that's a lot of inconvenience. So every time that people will undergo that procedure, marami naiirita, marami nagagalit, and one of those would be me. Pero, nung na-experience ko to in a bank, no? Naalala ko yung tinuturo ko about anger, and of course, I apply what I preach. Ginamitan ko ng cognitive reframing. Right? Where is my irritation coming from? Bakit ba ako naiinis? It has something to do with the way I think about the situation. Kasi iniisip ko itong gwardyang ito, nagpa-power tripping lang to. Wala lang talaga tong magawa sa trabaho niya na gusto niya, ipabukas sa akin yung lahat ng pwedeng buksan. That's how I saw it. That's why I got angry. But apply cognitive reframing, I need to stop that thought pattern and change it to be more positive. Doon ko na-realize na this guard is just doing his job, and at the same time, dapat pa pala akong matuwa. Bakit? Kasi the fact na ginagawa niya yung trabaho niya ng maayos, when I enter the bank, I can feel safe, I can feel confident that no one inside the bank will endanger my life. Kasi na-realize ko na lahat ng pumasok sa bangko pinagdaanan ko, therefore, I can be 100% sure na walang merong may dalang barel inside the bank, so I can just sit down and feel safe. Diba? Isipin mo kung hindi ginagawa ng gwardya yon. Talagang papasok lang siya ng papasok, I can never be sure, I can never be at peace inside that bank knowing that this guard is not doing his job. So when I saw it that way, itong gwardyang ito, kaya to ganito because he wants people to be safe inside the bank, my anger disappeared. It was replaced by gratitude. Imbis na mainis ako sa gwardya, gusto ko siyang pasalamatan because he is doing such a great job. O diba? Ano ang difference? Nagbago yung nararamdaman ko all because of how I saw the situation. Hinanapan ko ng magandang side yung sitwasyon na nagpapagalit sa akin. How about this one? It is taking too long for your ATM card to be processed. You have been waiting for 2 hours already. Ako rin yan. Actually, karugtong yan nung nangyari dito, no? So nakapasok na ako sa bank, kaya ako nandun kasi nag-a-apply ako ng bagong ATM, and ang tagal magproseso. 2 hours na ako nag-aantay, pero wala, no? Wala pa rin yung ATM na inaantay ko. Now, I am beginning to feel angry, medyo naiirita na ako, but again, I apply what I preach. Binago ko yung aking pag-iisip. The reason why naiirita ako at that situation, kasi iniisip ko na yung mga tao doon sa loob ng bangko incompetent. Right? Ang dami kong mga bagay na hindi nagagawa. Nasasayang lang yung oras ko. Those thoughts running inside my head, yun yung nagbibigay sa akin ng anger. So what do? Para hindi magtuloy-tuloy yung nagbi-build up kong anger, I change the way I see things. Right? The reason why bakit matagal yung mga tao sa pagpoproseso ng ATM, it's because they want to make sure that they're doing it right. I mean, anything that has something to do with money, talagang dapat maingat ka dyan. Sinisigurado nila na walang magiging problema later on kapag nakuha ko na yung ATM, so they are double checking, triple checking, maybe quadruple checking, kaya matagal nilang ginagawa. And also, when I look outside the bank, nung nakita ko yung pintuan kung saan ako pumasok, I saw how long the line already is. Nung pumasok kasi ako, wala pang pila, ako kaagad, pinapasok ako, pero ngayon, no, nakita ko yung grabe yung haba ng pila sa labas ng bangko, at tirik na tirik yung araw, naiinitan yung mga nakapila. I felt so blessed. I am inside a bank that is fully air-conditioned and I am seated down very comfortably. Nung na-realize ko yon na naka-aircon ako, naka-relax ako dyan, no, sa upuan na malakas ang aircon, kinumpara ko yung situation ko to those people who are waiting in line outside. My goodness, my anger went away. Again, I was filled with gratitude. Saan nanggaling yung nag-iba yung aking feeling? From anger to gratitude, the way I thought. Hahanapan mo lang lagi ng positive interpretation yung mga bagay na nagpapagalit sa'yo. That's the technique that we are trying to learn here. But as we close this short video, let me just share with you one of the most powerful interpretation na sa tingin ko, when you do this, basically all kinds of anger will disappear. And that is Romans 8:28, which happens to be my life verse. Anong sinasabi sa Romans 8:28? All things work together for good to those who love God. Again, that happens to be my life verse. Mahirap magalit, no? Mahirap magalit sa mga sitwasyon kapag alam mo na yung mga bagay-bagay nangyayari because God allowed it to happen. And every time that God allows it to happen, it means He has a good plan for you. So kapag ganun yung pananaw mo sa mga sitwasyon na nangyayari sa'yo, bibihira ka talagang magalit. Kasi nakakita ka ng maganda eh. Diba? Nakakagalit yung situation, but at the same time, hey, God allowed this to happen. And whenever God allows something to happen, meron siyang planong maganda for myself. That anger that you're feeling will slowly go away. One good example of Romans 8:28 applied in the Old Testament, because Romans 8:28 is from the New Testament, yung story ni Joseph the Dreamer. Remember the story? To make the long story short, si Joseph the Dreamer, ayaw siya ng mga kapatid niya, so binenta siya sa mga Egyptians. And then, during his time in Egypt, ang dami niyang mga struggles, nakulong siya, muntik na siyang mamatay dahil pinagbintangan siya ng hindi naman totoo, so on and so forth. And then fast forward, he became one of the most powerful guys in Egypt because God was with him. And then fast forward, one day, nagkita-kita ulit silang magkakapatid. Yung mga kapatid niya hindi alam na siya pala yung kapatid nila na binenta sa mga Egyptians. To make the long story short, one day Joseph revealed himself to them. And the brothers were so scared what will happen to them because they know Joseph had all the reasons to be angry at them. After nang ginawa nila kay Joseph, talaga namang karapat dapat lang na magalit sa kanila si Joseph. Karapat dapat lang nagantihan sila ni Joseph. But what happened? If you read that part in the Bible where Joseph revealed himself to his brothers, there is not a trace that Joseph was angry to them. In fact, siya pa nga yung nag-comfort dun sa mga brothers niya. Dahil yung mga brothers niya takot na gagantihan sila ni Joseph, siya nag-comfort. Sabi niya, huwag kayong matakot. Hindi ko kayo gagantihan. Question, why? Again, Joseph had all the reasons to be angry. Pero bakit hindi ganon ka-intensified o halos walang trace ng galit yung meron kay Joseph? The answer, it has something to do with the way Joseph interprets events in his life. And the way he did that, his way of interpreting events in his life, umaalingaw-ngaw ang Romans 8:28. All things work together for good to those who love God. You translate that in the words of Joseph. What did he say? Mga brothers, huwag kayong matakot. Huwag kayong mag-worry, nagagantihan ko kayo because I will not. You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. That's the way he saw the situation. Lahat ng pangit na nangyari sa akin, God allowed it because He has a great plan for me. And that is where I am right now. I am one of the most powerful guys here in Egypt. This will not happen if all those bad things that I experienced did not happen. You intended to harm me, but God intended it all for good. So yan yung pananaw ni Joseph, kaya hindi siya galit sa kanyang mga brothers. Alright? So ganun lang, no? Tuwing nagagalit tayo, tuwing meron tayo mga nararamdaman, malapit nang lumabas yung galit natin or habang galit tayo, we can always choose no, to change the way we think about the situation. Remember, the very principle that we are following here, yung emotions mo nang gagaling yan sa takbo ng iyong pag-iisip. So if you want to take control of your emotions such as anger, you want to lessen its intensity, what you do is babaguhin mo kung paano mo nakikita yung isang situation that makes you feel angry. And we call that cognitive reframing. Okay? So I hope you learned something. In the next video, tuturuan ko pa kayo ng ibang mga techniques on how to better deal with anger that you are feeling para hindi tayo kinakain ng buong buo ng ating galit towards situations and other people. Alright, thank you for listening everyone. Have a great day. I hope you learned something new. I'll see you next time and God bless. Bye-bye.